Joining us now to talk about the implications of this report is Dr. Rebecca Gordon. She's a professor at the University of San Francisco and also wrote her dissertation on the use of torture. Dr. Gordon, what's your reaction to the report, and do you agree with the findings?
I agree with some of the findings. I think it's absolutely true that torture is an ineffective way of getting useful information. However, unfortunately, what the report does is it places the entire problem of torture in the past. And it's a problem that we are still living with today. I also think that the whole question of whether or not torture works is the wrong question. The real question is, are we willing to live as a country that values absolute safety above everything else that matters to us?
Well, Dr. Gordon, that actually leads to a follow-up question here. When you look at some of these terrorists, they don't play by any rules. They have no problem flying planes into buildings. If they're not playing by rules, why should we play by rules?
That's such a good question, and I'm really glad you asked it. The reason is that we are not terrorists. And if we allow ourselves to stoop to the level of the terrorists, then there's really nothing to choose between us. The big prize is that we remain a country that is governed by laws, not by fear, a country that is governed by human values, not by terror. We let the terrorists win when we descend to their level.
So what's to stop us from saying, okay, we won't do any torture here in the United States, but we're going to send these prisoners to other countries where they do allow torture?
Another good question, and in fact, there isn't anything to stop us right now. When President Obama issued his executive order in January of 2009, he ended the so-called enhanced interrogation techniques, but he did not end what is called extraordinary rendition, sending people somewhere else for interrogation. And in fact, the UN Committee Against Torture is very concerned about the standard that the U.S. applies when we still, which we still do, send people to other countries for interrogation. And it was part of their report issued last week about ways that the U.S. is not complying with our duties under the Convention Against Torture, which we actually signed back in 1994.
A lot of debate, a lot of discussion still ahead. Dr. Gordon, we appreciate you taking the time to speak with us tonight.
Thank you.